Protest against the controversial Guti bill has intensified as the Kathmandu Valley's indigenous community has staged stern protest against the proposed bill. The community has said that they would remain adamant with their demand until the proposed Guti bill is withdrawn. The government too has hinted towards relenting to the continued protests. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanama and these are the headlines of the hour. Provincial governments continue to allege the centre of infringing on their rights. However, provinces fail to furnish works that are under their own jurisdiction. Protest intensifies for the withdrawal of the proposed Guti bill. The government also hints at amending the controversial clauses in the Guti bill. 5 policemen shot dead in an ambush by Naxalites near Indian town of Jamshedpur in Jharkhand. Naxalite attack increasing again. And England register a crushing victory over West Indies in the ICC Cricket World Cup. The trend of dull affairs continues with another one-sided match. We'll start with the latest national political updates. Since the day of their establishment, the provincial governments have been alleging the central government of infringing on their jurisdiction. While the provincial governments have blamed the centre for confining all major powers to itself, they have, however, not been able to determine their names and capitals as of yet. The tenure of the committee formed to recommend the capital and name for Province 5 has been extended for 3 times. Likewise, Province 2, 3 and 7 have yet to determine both their names and capitals. Province 1 has determined its capital but has yet to decide its name. The government of Province 2, that has consistently remained negative towards the centre, has not even been able to make recommendations regarding its name and capital to the Provincial Assembly. This single example itself is enough to portray that working style of the provincial governments that has largely remained sluggish as of yet. While the chief ministers and even the lawmakers of provincial governments have been venting their ire at the central government regarding annual budget, policies and programs and law formulation. They have also been alleging the central government of trying to sabotage the norms of federalism. The condition of Province 3 is also no different. Although the province government has determined its temporary capital as Hetauda, there is dispute within the ruling Nepal Communist Party itself regarding the permanent name and capital of the province. The provincial governments have also failed in terms of spending the budget, signifying that they have not helped the cause of federalism. Following widespread criticisms and the warnings of phase-wise protests from the members of Guti Corporation, the controversial Guti bill is in the process of amendment at the National Assembly. Lawmakers of the ruling and the opposition parties have registered 108 amendments to the bill. The provision of converting Guti Corporation into Guti Authority along with other public and private corporations across the country was among the provisions that met with stern criticism. The bill is in the process of amendment at the National Assembly. So far in the history of National Assembly, the Guti bill has received the highest number of amendment requests. A total of 108 amendments have been registered for the bill that has 13 sections and 104 clauses. Lawmakers from both the ruling party and the opposition have registered for amendment. The Guti bill had been criticized from all quarters as the government failed to consult concerned stakeholders before tabling the bill at the parliament. Clause 24, 25, 36, 51 and 53 of the bill have received the most number of amendment applications. Based on the bill, Clause 24 would rip the members of Guti Corporation from their rights. Clause 25 would require the Guti Corporation to present its investments to the government, and Clause 36 required the corporation to take permit from the government to build religious shrines. Likewise, Clause 52 would allow private individuals and organizations who have built houses on Guti lands to transfer those properties in their names. As the bill itself is new, the Legislative Committee has the legal rights to amend the bill without any amendment request being registered. Meanwhile, the Newar community of Kathmandu Valley have intensified their protest against the controversial Guti bill. The Newar community took out a torch rally earlier yesterday evening in Lalitpur's Mangal Bazar area, citing that the proposed Guti bill was likely to dent cultural heritage and identity of indigenous community. There was a significant and enthusiastic participation of people from Newar community at the protest rally. The participants in the rally opined that the proposed Guti bill was not only a hindrance to the old age culture but threatened to wipe out the very existence of Newar community. The participants in the rally have said that they would not give up their protest until the damaging bill was withdrawn. The community has also held a protest vigil on Thursday at the Patan Darbar Square. Likewise, similar protests against Guti bill were also held in Bhaktapur yesterday. The government is preparing to add more than 44,000 teachers' postings in community schools without identifying genuine requirements. At a time when the number of students in community schools has been declining, the government is preparing to convert 38,500 relief quotas and around 6,000 grant quotas into the teachers' postings without need-based assessment. The government started appointing teachers at community schools under relief quota some 16 years ago after the number of teachers were rendered inadequate compared to the ratio of students. More than 38,000 teachers were appointed under relief quota during the span of 8 years. However, a majority of the quotas were blatantly distributed by the then Education Minister, Education Secretary and Director General at the Education Department to fulfill their vested interests. The number of students at community schools across the country has declined by 1.8 million during the last 1 decade. A study conducted by the task force formed by the ministry itself had concluded that the number of teachers at primary level exceeded requirement. However, instead of revising the existing postings, the government is preparing to authenticate the relief quotas distributed through the means of illicit nexus. Experts are of the view that the haphazard increase in postings without need analysis and to fulfill vested interests would only cause unnecessary burden on the state coffers and also compromise the overall education standards of the country. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the people's representatives of Yangur Rural Municipality of Pastar District how satisfied are the public with their work. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
उहाँहरूले भनेका कुराहरू सबै पूरा गर्न त सकिँदैन हैन सर र पनि अब अलिअलि केही कुराहरू चाहिँ आफूले भनेका कुराहरू गरे जस्तो लाग्दैछ
चुनावको बेलामा मागेका थियौं जनतासँग प्रतिबद्धता गरेका थियौं बाटो खनेर यहाँसम्म ल्याइदिन्छौं भने त्यो प्रतिबद्धताहरूलाई गाउँपालिकाबाट के कति रकम छुट्याएर हुन्छ कि वडाबाट छुट्याएर त्यही गरेर हामी पूरा गर्दै छौं
विस्तृत भनाइहरू आएको छन् कतिपय ठाउँमा चाहिँ स्थानीय तौरबाट कति कामहरू भएको छैन भनेर उहाँहरूले भन्नुहुन्छ तर अहिले झट्टै हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ वात्तै हुने स्थितिमा छैन
असन्तुष्ट पक्षहरूलाई पनि हामीले समेटेर र उहाँहरुसँग छलफल गरेर त्यो असन्तुष्ट पक्षलाई पनि सन्तुष्ट बनाउने प्रयासमा लागिराखेका
निर्वाचित भइसकेपछि राम्रै हुन्छ होला भन्ने उहाँहरूले पनि सोच्नु भएको थियो त्यो कति कुरामा चाहिँ पुग्न पनि नसक्ला अनि पुगेको पनि छ सबै महिलाहरूलाई चाहिँ अब गाह्रै हुँदो रहेछ एकैचोटी पुग्नलाई
विगतको दिनहरुमा चाहिँ आर्थिक बजेट विनियोजन गर्दाखेरि अलि आर्थिक समृद्धिलाई हामीले ध्यानमा दिएका थिएनौं भने अब यसपालि चाहिँ उहाँहरुको जीविकोपार्जनसँग जोडिने खालको योजनाहरु चाहिँ हामी यसपालि बजेट तर्जुमा गर्ने सिलसिलामा छौं
Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what's your take on the withdrawal of transport fare hike inside 5 hours? Your options are A, unstable decision, B, fear of protest, and C, lack of coordination. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. It's now time for our special segment, Media Watch.
Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli left Nepal on Saturday, 8th of June for an 8-day official visit to Europe. A high-level delegation including Foreign Minister Pradeep Gewali and Labour Minister Gokarna Bista accompanied the Prime Minister. Premier Oli addressed the centenary function of the International Labour Organization in Geneva on Monday. Premier Oli held a meeting with British Prime Minister Theresa May in London on Tuesday. The two leaders discussed on issues of bilateral interests and concerns. Prime Minister Oli then reached France on Wednesday on a 3-day visit at the invitation of his French counterpart, Edouard Philippe. Premier Oli is scheduled to return home on Saturday, 15th of June. Police manhandled protesters staging demonstrations at the Maitighar area in the capital on Sunday, demanding the government to withdraw the Guti bill it registered at the parliament. The bill includes a provision that would allow individuals to transfer the ownership of Guti lands to themselves. At a time when heated discussions on the Guti bill have continued at the parliament, members of the Guti Corporation held a protest program at Lalitpur's Mangal Bazaar on Thursday, stating that the bill threatens the identity of the community and its culture. The Public Service Commission announced vacancies for 9,161 staff at 515 local authorities on 29th of May. The Parliament Staff Affairs Committee, however, directed to scrap the vacancy advertisement on Tuesday. Despite the State Affairs Committee's directive to hold the staff recruitment process at the local levels, the Public Service Commission has yet to oblige as it defends its action, citing it has abided by all the constitutional requirements for the process. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has sought clarifications for the Public Service Commission for not abiding by the directive of the committee.
And those are our latest headlines. Stay with us for more news and entertainment on Kantipur TV HD. Have a great day ahead.